All right, hello everybody. So it is Sunday morning. I've got I've got a crazy mullet going on. I took a walk, right, and I had my hoodie on because it was actually a little bit chilly this morning, and so now I've got the craziest mullet. But anyway, whatever. It's Sunday, right? Sunday fun days. Yeah, so a lot of controversy. I did deactivate my Instagram and Twitter accounts, not permanently, no worries. I'm just going to take several weeks, maybe the full 30 days off. Yeah, I have made a couple of philosophy videos, which I think are really great videos. Check them out. But I've made a couple of philosophy videos about the idea that we should basically not give a shit what other people think. And as I said in one of those videos, unfortunately, that tends to be more of an aspirational idea than a reality for most of us. And I have to be honest with you, the things that my adversaries say, like those on the opposing team who think that Marilyn Manson is guilty and support Evan Rachel Wood, and those people on that side who attack me, I mean, I get attacked constantly, from people who believe that Marilyn Manson is guilty, or people believe that Johnny Depp is guilty, or whatever, right? Because I also get attacked a lot by Amber Heard stans. And that stuff, it rarely bothers me, partly because I make a great effort to sort of stay in a particular mindset about that, and just to realize that it comes with the territory, and that there is no way to have a media presence and to speak on controversial issues and to speak honestly on controversial issues without getting a lot of fire. So I expect that, and that does generally, that doesn't hurt me, or I'm able to at least, I think, keep up a good internal defense against that. The friendly fire, though, the friendly fire hurts. And it's definitely on me if it gets to me to the point where I feel like I am compelled to shut down my social media accounts. That's on me, and I clearly need to develop better coping mechanisms for that. It's not that I've never gotten criticized by Manson fans before, or by Johnny Depp fans before. As some of you know, I even went through a sort of a little cancellation in the Johnny Depp community a long time ago. But that's, we're over that, and people have apologized to me, I've apologized to people, and whatever. We're moving on. But and I had a part to play in that. Looking back on it, I egged it on. Anyway, I've had some bumps in the road, of course, with my fan base, or with Johnny Depp and Marilyn Manson supporters, and again, to be expected. But I did not expect that after I tried to do what I thought was the brave thing by going on Homeboy Edwin's show. I thought I was doing the brave thing. I thought I was doing the gutsy thing. I thought I was showing him and the Marilyn Manson haters that I was not afraid to sit down and for 2 hours submit myself to a tough cross-examination. I thought that I refuted everything that he said, or had a response to it. I thought that I was aggressive where needed, but I wasn't coming on that show to pummel him, and I wasn't coming on there to necessarily to make the case for Manson. I was really wanting to go on there and do what so many people say that I'm not willing to do, which is to go into an unfriendly environment and answer tough questions and face my critics, And I felt like Edwin was a good one for that, since he's constantly calling me a propagandist and all that other stuff, right? And so I wasn't expecting the backlash. Apparently, there were just a number of people in the Manson community, I guess, who thought I just did a horrible job. And I have to say, in all honesty, I just don't see it. I really came away from that thinking that it was, that in terms of the debate, that it was kind of a draw, because the comments seemed very split, and Edwin actually got a lot of shit for being, from a number of people, for being really aggressive, and people felt that there were some people who felt that at times he was making himself look ridiculous. In fact, I had a conversation sometime after the interview with Edwin, and just a brief, DM conversation. And he indicated that, he had been getting some flack for the fact that he came on really strong and that I was seeming really cool and composed. At least that's how I thought it came off. But apparently, there are a number of Manson fans who feel like I have just, as the Brits like to say, let the side down. I don't know exactly what that means, but I like it. I watch The Crown, and they're always saying that. He let the side down. So I guess it's like, yeah, I let people down. And then I see that two people that I've worked with before, and one of which I was going on Edwin's show to try to rehabilitate that person's image, which I guess I wasn't successful in doing, but I thought I put in some good words for that person, and I don't want to say who it is or whatever. I am really trying to get away from all of this controversy. But just to explain to you what's happened, because I'm getting a bunch of messages now, people concerned. I've talked before about my depression. I struggle with clinical depression, and I'm not alone. Almost everybody in our modern society is crazy in some way, right? Why are so many people so depressed? Why are so many people so anxious? Why are so many people having issues and personality disorders and all that? Well, it's because our society is fucking crazy right now. And a lot of it has to do with technology and some of the very stuff I'm talking about here. But anyway. And so, if I let you down, I don't know if I would say that I'm sorry. It's unfortunate that I've let some people down. I guess that I have a really delusional view of how I came across in that interview, because I thought that I did a decent job. And so I guess I got to say, to the Manson haters and to Edwin and to the Ed and Rachel Wood supporters, I guess you got me, and I didn't know it. I didn't realize it. Anyways, yeah, so I just didn't expect the friendly fire, and I didn't expect to see that someone, a different person that I just did a video with, I just spent hours putting together videos for this person, for me to put on my channel and for this person to put on their channel. And we just put the videos up recently. I wasn't expecting that person to be calling me a sellout publicly. But you know what? If that's what she thinks, then that's what she thinks. And I mean, clearly, I guess we don't need to be working together anymore. So, I guess that's one less person I have to worry about collaborating with. But I don't know, you guys. I mean, I'm human. I didn't actually start, let me tell you something. I didn't actually start my channel to be Marilyn Manson's defense attorney. I started my channel because I thought it would be fun to have an outlet for my views. And I felt like my time in academia was drawing to a close, and maybe if I worked hard and if I had some guts, I could turn this hobby into a job, or at least a part-time job. And that's another thing that my critics, get on to me about, or that I've been getting this friendly fire about. And this has been going on for a while. The idea that I'm profiting off of this, or I'm a sellout, or I only care about being successful on YouTube. Well, I guess that some people still need a lesson in basic capitalism, okay? Because self-interest is the driving incentive of basically almost all human behavior. And it's not my fault if I have enjoyed some very moderate, really to almost non-existent success. I mean, really, I'm still just struggling to get this thing off the ground. And if you saw my life, if you saw what my life is like when I'm not on camera, to be quite frank with you, in many ways, it's a fucking mess. And it's probably not good PR for me to say that, but I'm just saying. It's we're all going through rocky times. We're all going through bad stuff, right? So I'm not here to whine, but I'm just here to say, like, I literally am doing the best that I can. And so anyway, people, but yes, self-interest is a motivating factor. If I did not have the possibility of one day turning this YouTube channel into something that could be a decent full-time job, I probably would not make any videos. I did get into this because I wanted to try to create something for myself. What I would say to some of my critics, the same people who have Instagram accounts and are posting things, and some of whom are doing their own videos and stuff, is that if you're trying to tell me that there is not an ounce of self-interest in what you're doing and it is just purely altruism for Marilyn Manson, you're not getting anything out of some of the attention or the people saying great job or knowing that you're doing something for this guy that you have a huge, as Edwin would say, super fan crush on or whatever, right? I would say you're not being honest. And that's not directed actually at the people in particular that I'm talking to. That's directed at like all of the fans of Marilyn Manson and Johnny Depp who over the year, those fans of Marilyn Manson and Johnny Depp who over the past couple of years have criticized me for being too commercial. I mean, how can you even say that? Look at how I look right now. Anyways, I don't know. So anyway, I don't really know what to say other than it's a very peculiar and I think delusional idea to think that if self-interest were not involved, then anyone would be doing much of anything. Pretty much everyone who was on YouTube, with very, very few exceptions, people like to bring up Brian McPherson, and I'll grant you that. That is one great person right there who worked hard for Johnny Depp tirelessly without any reward to himself. But most of the people who put videos on YouTube and most of the people who were doing stuff on Twitter and on Instagram, they may tell themselves they're doing it for selfless reasons, but come on, let's all be honest. Pretty much everyone does everything because they get something out of it, either psychologically or financially, or it gives them a sense of purpose in life. I just believe that pretty much everything comes down to a basic, semi-narcissistic motivation. What's nice in life is if you can take if you can take your own self-interest and you can find a way to meld it with things that you actually passionately, ideologically believe in. And I may have started my channel for self-interest, or I may have a YouTube channel for self-interest, but believe me, there was no advantage in covering Marilyn Manson's innocence when I started doing it. Okay? I did my first video 6 days after the allegations came out, when almost everyone thought that he was guilty, when no one else was making videos about his possible innocence except for, I think, eHacker, and kudos to him, and you should check out his channel if you haven't. I need to do a video with him soon. It's been a while. I remember I was there early, and I was putting out videos, and I was putting out interviews, and I was putting myself on the line when there was no advantage in it. Okay? There was no advantage. It was probably I would say probably a good 6 months before I was really even bringing in like any money at all. And believe me, it was not apparent at the beginning. It was not obvious at all that covering the Marilyn Manson thing was going to bring me lots of fans. Believe me. In fact, my biggest concern, you know what my biggest concern was when I started making Marilyn Manson videos? It was the fact that I knew that so many Johnny Depp fans would be upset with me, because there were a lot of Johnny Depp fans back then when the Marilyn Manson stuff came out, who were really scared that because of the friendship between these two, that Marilyn Manson, with all these allegations against him, would taint Johnny Depp in the public mind. And so when the Marilyn Manson allegations came out, I had already been making videos about Johnny Depp, right? Johnny Depp's innocence. I actually had Johnny Depp fans privately approaching me saying, please leave this Manson stuff alone because it's hurting your reputation in the Depp community and it's hurting Johnny Depp. And if you want to have a successful YouTube channel, this is not the way to do it. That was the prevailing opinion. That was really the only opinion when I started making the Manson videos. And other than eHacker, there was like nobody else out there. Now, one of the people who's been criticizing me, I give that person a ton of credit for being early to this. They weren't making videos, but they were out there on Instagram and they were posting. And I said this in my interview with Edwin. I said 2 things about this person who's now mad at me and saying that I'm a sellout or whatever, and they're going to publish receipts about, I guess, how awful I am. I said on Edwin's channel, I said that this person deserves a great deal of credit for standing up for Manson's innocence and doing it repeatedly and doing it in the face of a lot of criticism. And I also said that that person had been very consistent in saying repeatedly that they never observed Manson assaulting or physically harming anyone. All right? Now, it's not my fault if I can't completely rehabilitate that person's image on Edwin's show. Okay? It's not. But I tried. I guess I didn't do a good job, and now a bunch of people are mad at me. Other people are saying I shouldn't have gone on Edwin's show. I shouldn't have given him a platform. Look, y'all, this is a huge story, this Manson thing, and it's going to become even bigger as it goes along. You don't think that at some point someone was going to emerge as a mouthpiece for the other side? And that person has been calling me a propagandist and has been saying all of these, attacking me in all of these ways, which I don't blame him. That's his shtick. Just like, you know, I mean, that's his perspective. And actually, I think Edwin does believe what he's saying. All right. But you know, I felt like the weak thing to do would be just to ignore it. And, you know, I thought the strong thing would be to go on there, listen to what he has to say. Don't try to beat him over the head or anything, but listen, be reasonable, give my refutation of that. Yeah, maybe he tripped me up on a couple of things I wasn't expecting. I was not expecting some of the sort of random things like West Borland that didn't seem a big deal to come up, but I didn't think I did a bad job. If you did, great. I'm sorry. All right? And, you know, one of my critics on Instagram saying, you know, someone, again, that I thought was a friend, saying that she had never seen someone so ill-prepared. Really? It was that bad? Huh. You know, look, I'm doing the best I can. I've been very open about my struggles with depression. And I have to be honest with you, you know, the day that I did that interview with Edwin, I tried like 3 times that morning to get out of bed. It took me like two or 3 hours to even get out of bed. Was sad most of the day, was not feeling good, but I thought, you know, if I back out, that's going to look terrible. So I gave it my all. And I guess, you know, I guess maybe there's a lesson in that too. I don't know. I'm not sure, really. I do the best I can. But I'm just really like tired of the childish behavior on Instagram and on Twitter. And I know that's the nature of the beast. So maybe I don't belong there anymore. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Now, I believe in Manson's innocence. And I know that a lot of my fans are Manson supporters. And I want to keep making those videos. All right? But I need to figure out, I guess, a way to get myself in a better headspace if I'm going to be taking this kind of friendly fire. So that's where things are at right now. What else? Other controversies. Oh, yes. Well, some people were thinking that I got off social media because I'd gotten backlash about my comments about colonialism. No, not so much. I mean, I knew those comments were controversial, and I know there's plenty of room for debate about that, right? But the point that I was trying to make is that people... all of these people complaining about the history of British colonialism, I'm sorry, every single country has done really shitty stuff. Now, there are degrees, of course, of it, but in general, as Solzhenitsyn said, the line between good and evil runs through every human heart, all right? So England, Great Britain, does not have the monopoly on bad historical behavior. And one thing that Great Britain did is they outlawed slavery pretty much before anyone else, including, guess what, Africa, many countries in Africa, whereas actually in some parts of Africa, slavery is still practiced today, and the Middle East. And yeah, I know there's human trafficking everywhere. I'm just talking about where it's like sanctioned. You know, people talk a lot of shit about colonialism. No one ever seems to bring up the Ottoman Empire, you know, the Muslim, Middle Eastern and North African colonialist who killed many, many people and enslaved many Europeans, many white Europeans. You know, there was a whole, as Greta Aurora pointed out, there was a whole Barbary slave trade that was huge with tons of what we would call white people, Europeans, white Europeans being enslaved. You know, the Ottoman Empire, I mean, for centuries, they caused horrible pain and suffering and terror. All right? Colonialism, what we call colonialism, all of this bad behavior that people are now, you know, are now blaming the dead Queen of England for. I've got news for you. It's pretty much universal, and you can look at any nation's history, especially the African nations, and you can see a lot of messed up stuff. All right? And I say especially the African nations because I don't understand why it's just always like the European nations. You know? Yeah, the European nations, they were better at colonialism, maybe, than some other people. But not when you look at the history of the entire world. Not when you look at, like, Genghis Khan and all these. I mean, come on, people. Have you ever opened a history book? Well, I know the answer to that. For a lot. And that's okay. It's not anybody's fault, okay? It's just a shame. Our society is just not at all geared toward real historical education. It's geared toward, at the moment, woke platitudes, as far as I can tell. And I know that, and I know that I have a number of supporters who are on the left. It's not about a left or right thing, okay? I'm talking about this kind of like really just ridiculous, ludicrous, dumb thinking that that some of these extremists have, no matter what side they're on. And one of the controversial things that I said this week, and this just sent some people really over the edge, was when I said that actually there's research, credible research, to indicate that colonialism might have been a net gain for the colonized places. Now, I know that's just going to freak people the fuck out. But what colonialism brought a lot of pain, but it also brought a lot of good administration, improved administration, improved civil law, improved infrastructure, improved medicine, economic, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, you can say a lot of stuff. I'm fine to argue the historical stuff, right? And so whatever you want to say in the comments, if you want, that's fine. And I'm not wedded to this opinion. It would be actually an interesting thing to get more into. But again, what I'm trying to do here is bring a contrarian perspective that a lot of people, it's not even on their radar, So instead of castigating the Queen of England for the sins of Great Britain, the same sins that basically every country and every race of people have committed at some point historically, let's give her a break, all right? What else? Other controversies? Anything else I can knock out while I am here? Yeah, I guess not. I guess that's it. So anyway, I appreciate your support. And look, I just have to remind myself, and I have to remind all of you, that 99% of my fans are great. And even if they're disappointed with how I did on Edwin's show, they still appreciate me and all of that and support me. And so that's why I'm not taking my YouTube channel down. I'm not pouting. It's none of that. I just don't like the way things are going. And I decided it was time to maybe bow out of the social media game for a little while, all right? As always, please like and subscribe to my channel. I've got more videos coming out on various topics. And if you support my work, you can find me on PayPal, Patreon. All of that info is below. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.